Hey, happy Monday, everybody. Hope you are all well. Hope you had an amazing weekend. So, this is the collective reading for, sorry, jumping about, for the 18th of March. So, hope you are all very, very well. So, I've pulled some cards from 3 different decks just to have a look at what's going on this week, what we can expect, and what we can do to get us closer to our dreams and desires this week. So I will start with tarot. So we're in the energy of Pisces right now. And Pisces energy is very creative. It's very feminine, very deeply connected to the moon and what's going on with the moon. So we're in the waxing phase at the moment. So everything is growing, it's expanding. This is definitely a time of transformation. It's a time of growth, is a time for new beginnings as well. Very much a week of introspection, of change, and of embracing the new beginnings that we saw at the new moon in Pisces last week. This is a fantastic time for healing. It's a great time for transformation and for really stepping into a more authentic version of yourself, or a more authentic expression of yourself and your place in the collective as well. So we do have some astrological things going on. We've got the Pluto's transition into Aquarius, which is very much yeah, I can't speak this morning, opening us up to new things. We also have had recently the Chinese New Year and the Year of the Dragon come through. We have lots of eclipses coming up. We've got a series of eclipses and planetary retrogrades that are going to start to come in, and they'll affect us personally and collectively as well. So there's lots of different things that are going on at the moment that are going to have an impact on how you're feeling, what's showing up, and what needs to be looked at and dealt with to really help you to move forwards. So looking at tarot, we do have some emotions that are going to surface. Now, this can be a little bit difficult as that happens, but know that everything that comes up is in your greatest good. Okay, these are emotions that have been suppressed that need to be released so that you can move forward, so that you don't keep experiencing the same cycles, the same patterns, the same habits, and the same events. So really sit with these emotions and allow them to come up. That's going to be really, really important in helping you to heal. We've already seen that that healing energy is there. It's also important to remember that you're the creator, the magician of your life. You have full control and full power of what it is that you want to create in your life, the things that you want to have, do, be, achieve, experience. All of these things are possible for you. You just need to step into that role. You just need to be able to decide what works for you, what doesn't work for you, what are you available for, and what are you not available for. That's really, really important, right? So taking on the role as the magician is going to be really powerful in helping you to create change, in helping you to create transformation and move forwards. The way that we treat ourselves is also really, really important this week. So making sure that we have time for self-love, self-care, self-reflection, introspection, and all of those things. Treating ourselves luxuriously, making ourselves the most important person in our lives is going to be so, so important. That raises our value. It raises our worth. The more that you respect yourself, the more others will respect you as well. So really connecting into that energy of how you can be of more service to yourself, how you can bring in more self-love, more self-care, more self-respect, more worthiness, because that's going to get reflected back to you the more that you treat yourself in that way. few money things coming up this week. So just pay attention to what you're telling yourself about money. For me, this card is all about our money mindset, right? And what we're putting out into the world. When we want to create change, when we want to manifest our desires, when we want to bring in more of the things that we want to see in our lives, money quite often has a part to play in this. So just really paying attention to what you're telling yourself about money this week and moving forwards, of course, as well. Because if you're telling yourself you can't afford to give yourself, self-love, self-care, you can't afford to XYZ, you can't afford to, make changes, you can't afford to change your diet, you can't afford to do whatever it may be, right? You're going to be in that constant state of never being able to afford it because you're telling the universe you don't have enough. So the universe is going to provide you with scarcity and lack, right? So really paying attention to your mindset this week, especially around money and what you're telling yourself about money, because that is going to have an impact on the transformation that is available to you, your potential, your possibilities that are waiting for you, right? And lastly, we have a tendency to shield ourselves, right? And that could be due to imposter syndrome. That could be to some of the oaths, vows, contracts, and agreements that we've made to stay invisible in our lives, especially if we're spiritual healers, which is, all of those things, right? So it is time to really start stepping out into your authenticity, right? We are being powered by the planetary influences that are going on around us to be authentic, right? To be fully ourselves, to show up as ourselves, right? And when the King of Swords comes up, that really says to me that, we're hiding ourselves. So this is a collective energy. We're hiding ourselves. We're not showing up authentically. We're not being who we were born to be, who we came here to be. So really looking at how you can show up more authentically in your life this week is going to be really, really powerful. So I pulled a couple of Akashic cards as well to really help us to dig into what we can work on this week to help us to connect and call in our dreams and desires. So the shadow self came up. So what part of yourself are you keeping hidden, right? We're talking about keeping ourselves hidden with the King of Swords. So what part of yourself are you keeping hidden that you're not showing others due to fear of persecution, fear of judgment, fear of not being good enough? All of the things that we tend to keep ourselves hidden with, right? We all have different fears that we hold on to, right? Fear of persecution, fear of torture, fear of judgment, fear of success, fear of failure. There are so many things. So really working on your shadow this week is going to be really powerful in helping you to step more fully into your authenticity. We also had family ties come up. So working on your family ties and the things that are holding you back. So maybe there's some judgment from family. Maybe there's some underlying current from your family that is holding you back. So really looking at family ties. Now, this can be current family, can be your ancestors as well. So if your ancestors had certain fears, they can be impacting your life right now as well. Okay, your ancestors may have created vows, oaths, contracts, and agreements that have been passed down through the generations for you to always be afraid, for you to always stay under the radar, as it were, to be invisible, to be not seen and not heard, right? And these can be oaths, vows, contracts, and agreements that are affecting you now because they haven't been cleared. So have a look at the family ties, the family patterns, the family behaviors that are keeping you stuck, because these are things that need to be released in order to help you to get closer to your dreams and desires. And lastly, I asked, what can we do this week to connect more deeply with our soul purpose? So how does our soul purpose want to be expressed this week? And the card that came up was creativity. Now, the Pisces energy is very, very creative. So look at creative ways that you can express yourself so that you can step more into your authenticity. Okay, whether that's how you verbally express yourself by being creative, whether you want to paint, dance, cook, all of the creative things that are connected to us. Our soul purpose wants to be more creative, right? And as we bring in that creativity into our day-to-day lives, our soul is being nourished and we're getting closer to fulfilling our soul's purpose by using one of the gifts that you have been given in this lifetime or in a past lifetime. By being creative, you may be able to call forwards gifts that you had in a past lifetime that's going to help you in this lifetime. So really look at how you can be creative. You don't necessarily have to, go out and buy lots of things. We've already seen that money is a bit of a thing that's holding us back. So look at how you can perhaps creatively express yourself in a different way, or how you can be creative with the content that you're putting out, or how you can be creative in the kitchen, creating new dinners, whatever it may be. Our soul purpose is asking us to express creativity this week, particularly. It's something that you need to express all the time, but this is what we are being called to really express this week. So let me know in the comments. I can't see any comments, by the way. Let me know in the comments what you're manifesting this week. Like, what do you really want to do, have, be, or achieve this week? So I hope this reading resonates with you. Let me know in the comments, and I look forward to catching up with you all again really soon. Ciao for now.